I will call the meeting to order at 6:47?
5:45.
I'm sorry, 5:47, thank you. Okay, and before the pledge, let me just ask, who would like to volunteer to take the minutes? Any volunteer? Going once? Going twice? Amber, thank you very much. Okay, please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Emma, if it's okay with you, she'll take the minutes. Okay, thank you. Thank you for offering. Okay, let's see, roll call. Carol Alexander,
Here.
Amber Avis,
Here.
Dolores Boswell, here. Sylvia Bruni,
Here.
Lizette Cuella,
Here.
Sylvia de Leon Schultz, Solis, Diana E. Espinosa, Esther Quiroga,
Here.
Maribel Garcia, Olga Gentry, Elia Guevara, Alice Herrera, Sylvia Palumbo,
Here.
Guadalupe Ramirez,
Here.
Sandra Rocha Taylor, here. Diana Rodriguez,
Here.
Rosina Silva,
She's here, but.
We went to
the bathroom.
Francis Wawarski. Okay, thank
How
you.
many present, how many? Oh, yeah, y esta Olga Gentry resigned, right? You said
We'll
that she had
discuss that
resigned. Oh, okay, well, I just said there, so I just
Okay,
wanted to.
so finishing roll call, we have 10 for quorum, so we'll continue on with the meeting. Okay, public comments. There be no one here for public comments. Or does anyone have any public comments that you would like to make?
Can I just make a comment?
Yes, ma'am.
But not according to that, don't we have 11 here?
Oh, correct.
Oh, so someone has an initial.
Yes.
No, I didn't get it
Carol?
yet.
But I just said we had quorum, so
Okay.
we need 10 for quorum. Okay, so there being no public comments, we move on to, for approval of the June 24th, 2019 minutes. If you could please take a few minutes to review the minutes.
Thank you, no worries. I wasn't here for the special one. I have
Oh,
perfect attendance, that's why today I was like, this is when I started last year. I have perfect attendance. Special meeting, I didn't come, but everything else. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
So move to approve the minutes.
There's a motion, is there a second?
I second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Right before that,
Yes, ma'am.
there's a typo, it's just a typo on numeral 6, the last page, Silva, it's a typo, it's misspelled.
Oh, I see it, yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It's just a typo.
Very well.
Okay. So it's been moved and seconded with corrections for approval. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, the next item on the agenda is updates and discussion with possible action regarding the Laredo Commission for Wind 2019 action plan, including but not limited to. Okay, I would like an update from the chairs on the Women Voter Awareness Workshop. That's you, Sylvia?
Well,
What
I
are
was
your
trying to
plans?
see if anybody, we would put it for September, right? I'm just asking a question. We put it for September. Do you all know what month we put it for?
it was in the fall, you hadn't been specific on the month, you were saying between August
Oh, I
and
thought we
October.
had. I thought we had the calendar. Bueno, What my plan was, and I want to see if anybody would like to be involved with this, we want to make more people aware of voting and getting more people registered, of course, women, and then have like a little workshop. I wouldn't call it a workshop, I thought it would be more like a
Informational.
where we can get together and talk about getting more women involved, more women to run for different political offices in our community and make them aware of the issues that are concerning women. And I had thought of talking to the people from IBC, and they always have, I don't know how often they have it, and it's all for women all the time. So I had thought of talking to them to see if they would let us use their facility and they would like to get involved with us and having it. I don't know, because they have their own thing, but I don't know if we can do it with them or not. I was
You
gonna
don't, so you
find.
don't have any specifics right now?
Any dates?
I'm sorry?
You don't have anything specific right now on this event?
I don't have any, no, I don't. But I do want to get together and see if anybody wants me to go and talk to them to advise you all. Because we
And
haven't
as a-
gotten together.
As a committee, you're welcome at any time to call your committee together and meet with them. And I'm part of the committee, so please let me know so
Sure,
that.
I think everybody here would be part of the committee. I want everybody to get involved, you know. I think that it's good that all of us sit down and visit about the plan. And if anybody wants to stay right afterwards, I'd be glad to sit with you all and see what plans we can come up with from all of you. If you all give me ideas, what we want to do, then I will be here so that we can suggest, you know, just not me alone, it's all of us together. I mean, I can suggest myself, but I would like for all of you to become part of the committee.
Okay, so as
can meet afterwards.
you want to have a meeting after this meeting? with
Yes, if
whoever
anybody
wants to
can
be on the
stay, I
committee
would
with you?
appreciate it, or if you can't, the ones that can stay, please stay and let's discuss it and let's see what we can come up with.
Okay, and there were some people that had signed up to be on your committee?
I think, yes, I had Esther and I had Elia and Sylvia, you had raised your hand that wanted.
But why can't we discuss it right now? If it's
We
on the-
can,
It's
we
on the
can.
agenda
Yes,
as a
we can.
discussion, so why can't we take advantage right now of the whole group?
So we have a,
No, we can do that.
And let's
We
take
can.
advantage right now of the
Yeah.
whole group about discussing, you know, you're suggesting ideas that
Okay.
the group, the commission members might have.
If I may, I would like to, however, just go over it with the other two committees.
Okay, go
Oh,
for it.
yeah.
And then we can come back to
Yeah,
this, so
that'd
the
be fine.
meeting will all go on just this.
That'll be fine.
Okay, so, business etiquette workshop?
Yes, and I didn't come to the special meeting, but I think I emailed everybody
Yes.
what my proposal was. And if y'all didn't see it, what I was hoping for is, we had thought about during the summer, so at the public library, but when I saw that they had all these events like already set up, I was like, oh, I don't just want to do it last minute and said and done. I did talk to the Texas Workforce, I talked to the Rotary Club, and they had even mentioned that possibly even a fashion show, that they've done something like that in the past, and I was like, okay, well, it was a good idea, but I'm like, it's gonna take a little bit longer. And I was telling Sandra that I would like for it to be at the beginning of the year, like every year in January, kind of like a new me, new year, new me, so that ladies, and every time that there's something coming up with women's issues that we can think of, that we can update that workshop to include that. So every year, like I even said on the email, that so many of us some have like businesses, they're leaders in the community, so we don't really have to look for outside speakers. We have wonderful women that are already part of this committee that can talk to women about their story, if they have their own business, or like she said, or maybe have run for office, to kind of motivate the ladies, and then have like Laredo Community College speak to them, because I know there's a program that even if you already graduated, like high school, but you need extra help, there's a federal grant where they can teach you these things, like how to use a computer, Microsoft Word, and it's all free. But a lot of people don't utilize the program, so they have all this extra funds. Yes, that's why I think it's a good opportunity to have the Laredo College come and speak to the ladies on that. Have someone from HR from here, from the city of Laredo, kind of speak to the ladies on what should be on the resume, kind of some of the questions they might be asked, and then having someone from Workforce Solutions to be there in case they're looking for jobs, that you already have a contact person there for them. You know, like, can you?
Yes, ma'am?
Yeah.
The outlet shops, except for the life of me, I can't remember the shop, but it's a shop that's, I don't know if it's Brooks Brothers?
No.
Brooks, that's not Brooks.
I don't know.
There's a shop at the outlet shops that has very, very fine, really, really good clothing, classy, both for men and for women. and they'll outfit, they'll provide advice, coaching advice regarding the fashion, the type of attire that a businesswoman, businessman would want to select.
That would be perfect to have.
So the outlets, and they're so good about wanting to help and offer
They've had,
perks, and I've seen a mini little fashion show that
Me
they
too.
did.
You
In
can
fact,
ask that.
they took one outfit, remember when we went to the,
Yeah.
they took one outfit for a young woman, and out of one outfit, they had like 3 or 4 or 5 different changes with one basic outfit. And it was designed for the business, for the young developing business person going into the workforce. So that might be another good,
That's a really good idea.
And now that you're saying that, Sylvia, I know that I was invited to a party at the outlet mall. Like there's a place that I think they have like a little party hall
they
there.
have a nice, very, much large, a community room. It's not
Yeah.
huge. It's not huge, but it's a, they've also opened up, in fact, they were offering it when the Leadership Texas folks came this last August, whenever they came. They were literally offering, they have a very large venue. It used to be a store that shut down. It's a very, United Way has done their opening campaign, very big. That accommodates about 300 people.
And is that,
They were
does it
offering
belong to the city? The outlet? Or no?
No.
Just to say that.
But they go out of their way, I think Carol, you know Carol, they go out of their way because they're always looking to attract community. So they'd be a good partner, I'd be happy to help you with that.
Yes, if you can, that would be awesome, because what you're saying, that was the extra piece right there. When they mentioned the fashion show, and he told me, I'm like, I don't know that. I know the other parts, but the fashion show, but with what you're saying, that's perfect.
They could do,
Yes, and that would be promoting
I'm
the
assuming
outlets
that they
too.
would still be able to do it. I mean, I haven't seen them in a while, I've talked to the main folks recently, but I know that they were wanting very much to host a part of the Leadership Texas group when they came several months ago, and it didn't work out.
And what, more than women?
Yeah.
I know.
I know.
Maybe you can approach some of the other stores also.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they could, if they're willing to, but I mean, this particular store, the fashion wear that they have is very professional.
Yes.
And so it was perfect for what she wanted, for what she did that time. It was designed for the young professional man, the young professional woman. Who's your audience? Who's your desired audience for this seminar?
Because we're thinking it's about women like in their mid-20s to 40s that are already graduated from high school, maybe for some circumstance are not where they want to be, and we want to give them that push so that motivate them to feel comfortable in themselves and give them the skills to go out to the workforce and be successful.
And women that maybe their kids are gone, and so now they're wanting to
Ready
go
to get back into the
Yes.
workforce.
I just have a suggestion, if we could do something maybe in September. Not the full thing you want to do in January, but maybe something smaller, just to kind of preview, because that's when all the kids go back to school, and there's a lot of moms that are going to be looking for, even if it's a part-time job during the day.
Is this going to involve any money that we have to
No, that's why,
petition to the city
no, that's why
council?
even the Rotary was willing to help us, and then I know we own the library, not us, I mean the city of Laredo, so they wouldn't charge us to use their facilities. That's why I was trying to find all the organizations that can help us that we don't have to ask for money.
I think it, and Francis would be the one that would confirm it, but we wanted to do something like that for Christmas, do you remember? And we said we can find sponsors, and they told us no, that we cannot do that, so we need to check with legal to see if we can get
No, but they
that.
wouldn't be sponsoring.
No,
anything.
they did tell us that, because we were gonna do.
No,
it
but we're not-
But we're not
We're not
sponsoring
looking for
food
sponsors.
or space.
Oh.
The space belongs to the city, so I wouldn't have.
No, but they would, you said the Rotary would come in?
If they wanted to, like, they had done the fashion show before, and they were just gonna give me insight on what they've done before to help
okay.
out.
But you're not
That
going
was
to
all
have
it was.
refreshments. There's no
But
Yeah.
I think we
Yeah.
still have a budget for this year,
Yeah, we
right?
So we have to ask them
I mean,
what.
there's
It
got to be
is.
some refreshments.
Yeah,
Right.
for 10,000.
Yeah.
And we
Maybe
can
it's in the
ask.
I can
library.
invite people and I
Yeah.
can
Not have something.
Well, I think the library is free.
Yeah,
So we're centralizing everything.
And then your floor factors are.
Okay.
And I think council would support it, I mean, because I mean, we're trying to find as many ways not to use
yeah,
money,
the
so I don't
library.
think
Ms. Renee,
they.
can you ask about that, if they still have, because like I said, I know I wasn't able to, I was out of town that weekend, but if they do have that, I mean, it was a party.
I know they have, I know
Some
they have
sort.
a community room. Now, I haven't seen it. After I left, I know that there was, do you remember, have you seen it yet, Carol? The new community room?
Yeah, it's
Community
got
room.
like some sofas.
How big, because when we were looking at it, it didn't accommodate, they had told me no more than 50 or
Is it about this size?
No, it's
It
bigger
could
than
be
this. It was,
wherever we
they had
can
told me
go.
50,
I know
60
Steinmart
people.
also does a lot.
But you
Yeah,
want
I've
more,
seen it.
Also, I haven't
Yes,
seen
Steinmart.
the
Maybe
new
that's
place,
a good number.
I don't know what she's
See.
looking for. What,
Like about 60 people?
How many
or
people
many?
Yeah,
well, then maybe the smaller venue would, but I know the bigger venue, and it probably could be sectioned off because it was, I've seen several events there. United Way had their kickoff and that, they had maybe 200 or 300 people. But it could be that it could be sectioned off, but I'll find out about the community room.
yes, if you
Okay,
can.
well, I'll let you all get together on those
Yes,
details so that we can
That would be
move
awesome.
on
Yes.
that. Okay, and then the next item here is Women's Bill Day for Habitat for Humanity. And Tiana, I know it's you and Alice, but Alice is out.
And this is out, and as of yet, we have not come to an agreement on what date. It's still on the, still pending for the reason that Rose is not sponsoring it anymore.
Okay, well, thank you.
Still pending.
Thank you for that update. And so now we'll go back at your request to the Women Vote Awareness Workshop in Sylvia. Go ahead.
Well, we had talked about it, I think I had talked to Esther and Sylvia and I don't know, Elia, but we had discussed maybe doing a, in the Bank of Commerce, they have always some topics that they talk about for women.
It's the Women's Forum. Are you talking about the Women's
Yes,
Forum where they meet
yes.
quarterly?
See,
Yes.
I was.
But they have their schedule already.
I'm
They
sorry?
have their schedule already, and
Oh,
they
they
have their
already do?
speakers that
I
are set to
had,
come.
I guess I had talked to them a long time ago, even before this, and when I was there, and we had talked about it. With somebody there that's in that group. Y me habían dicho que sí, because I thought of maybe having like a forum. And I think it's more in touching issues of women that, we can bring to light a lot of these things that are happening in the making of news and stuff like that. And getting people registered, and if that only registered is getting more women out to the polls, which women vote more than men usually. But I think the issue is here that getting more women involved in really running for political office. I think if you look at the makeup of all the elected officials, we can do I can get the information and say, okay, in these offices, they have so many women. We need to encourage, just like getting more women involved, in the electoral process and running for political office.
And the steps you have mentioned, like what are the steps to
Yeah,
run?
and
Because some women
I
don't
had,
know.
I had thought of maybe inviting women that have run for office and that have won, and women that have run for office and have not won, and that in giving their stories of how they went about it, how did they do it, who encouraged them, how did they go about doing it, and the steps that you have to go through, and the application that you need to fill out, and the reports that need to be filled out when contributions come.
I know that the IBC did about 2 sessions ago.
They
yeah.
did a political engagement. And in fact, out of that one, it was right before we had a nonpartisan group that organized
Yes, I will.
purely for voter registration purposes. And we got very involved, nonpartisan. And when we launched that one, we got media very, very much involved. The Women's Forum group, which is IBC Women, when they had staged their event, they had these great, I don't remember if you remember them, Sandra.
Yes, I do.
They were stand-up, I don't know what you call
They're
them.
like,
They were, but
I
they
want to
had,
say posters.
they were
pero-
posters, but
pero no.
standalone. But they had fabulous data that basically spoke, quite frankly, to how abysmally we perform when it comes to the polls in Texas and Webb County. It was, I mean, many of us already know it, but I mean, when you read it, you realize, I mean, my God, I mean, this is horrifying, how very quiet we are when it comes to the polls. And when we saw those, we asked them, can we borrow them? So when we had our media event, they let us
And
have
they let
theirs.
you
They're
use
very,
it.
very good about it, so.
Awesome.
And that's when I talked to them
Yeah.
about it, because, you know, I don't know if you all know that there's 100 and, I don't know now, maybe 150,000, maybe 100, a little bit less registered voters in Webb County. And we've only been able to get 46,000 to vote. I mean, that tops, even for
It's not
presidential.
even 30%.
Nothing more than 50 or
And that was
60 or
good.
70.
We're one of the highest
You know,
in the state, though, we're one of the highest in the state.
Yeah, we were.
But,
And a lot of it had to do
yeah.
with the fact that there was a
There
lot of,
was a lot of awareness, I
Right.
know the kids at school.
And there has to be a way of doing a little forum and to invite, because it is a group, it's a women's group here, we have to stick to women only, ¿verdad? Pero for us to go out and first of all, we have to get deputized. That would be something that I would arrange, and that we can have the elections office come and swear us in. Then we would be able to have a big voter registration drive, but going back to the political forum too, you know, this is what we're hoping that we could get, you know, from, if I can, I'm gonna call the IBC, and I know you say that they're already.
well, they did that one, but they did that one and it was, I mean, they have an invitation list, but there's no reason why we can't repeat it. I mean, when it
Yeah.
comes down to
Right.
political engagement, there's no reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
we
big
can't
supporters of it.
continue to give that
Y
one.
como ustedes dicen, like, don't reinvent it, they already got their speakers and, you know, we can.
Well, they brought in,
People.
elected state,
Oh,
elected
from
officials.
Yeah, they were.
We have enough, we have
We-
enough powerful women that have already been
Oh,
elected to office right now.
Yeah.
That would. There was
Yes.
a cute, if you don't mind my sharing something, we were at Rotary today, Lupita and I, and we had Henry Suline from IBC came to give us an update on the NAFTA, whatever they call it now, it's not being called NAFTA.
USMCA.
Canada,
That.
whatever.
But he was showing a photograph of the group that had approved, he was showing back and forth the NAFTA history, the developing history right now for the current agreement. And in that group of international leaders that had approved, I think it was NAFTA, there was only one woman.
Oh, wow.
And Jaime Garcia said, oye,
Yes.
las mujeres dónde están? And so we have room, we still have room, girls, for a lot more involvement.
And we can have the women's history, how it began, when we got the right to vote, how we got it. A lot of women don't know that they were imprisoned and they fought, and
Excuse
we need
me.
to do all that.
Amber?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna add, my new light council is doing like a voter deputy on August
Voter
8th.
regist- yeah,
August 8th, if anybody wants to join us, I can send out the application. And then I also wanted to include that I attended an Annie's List training workshop called Run to Lead that helps elect progressive women in Texas. And they don't do workshops in Laredo. The one I went to is in San Antonio, and they do San Antonio, Dallas, and they just did Harlingen. But we can invite them
Why
to
can't they
come.
do one in
We
Laredo?
can do one here in Laredo, or I have all my training materials that, you know, how to work the numbers and all that
The
stuff.
last event we had here at Mile One, there was a young lady that was starting a group, was that the group that, or, 'cause she was?
I hosted my own International Women's Day at Mile One, and we can always,
No, just
do-
recently they had some speakers there, and there was a young lady there that was trying to start an organization in Laredo.
there's, I met with a young girl named Sylvia.
Yes.
Sylvia, yeah, she's
Uh-huh.
an 18-year-old, very bright young lady. I met with her group last week, and they're trying to do Laredo for reproductive rights. And so I'm helping them organize with their bylaws, their structure, and what they want. What they want to do is bring more resources to women. They want to be able to provide free pregnancy tests and rights to San Antonio in case you need to get an abortion, and just kind of be
No,
like a-
it wasn't that.
Okay.
And I'll look for her
yeah, I'll look for
information.
that one.
Yeah,
But
there
I'm
was
also in
someone else.
contact with them as well.
There was
but
She was
that's
trying to
already-
support women that wanted to get into political office.
There was
Oh,
an
you're talking about
organization-
Virginia.
There
Virginia.
was an
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
organization
But
that.
the
So did they
national-
start that organization?
Yes, but they're gathering in McAllen.
There was an
Oh, is that the group you went to?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
There-
I'm like in that group also. It's the New Leaders Council.
yes.
NLCS.
Yes.
There was a great organization that we ran into when we went to the state conference, and they literally do that. They go around promoting, and saved all the files, I don't know where they are, but that was their focus, to gather women and guide them and train them on what it takes to run for office. It was totally awesome.
Well, I think
I wish I
it's
could
their
contact them.
connections need to be added.
The Annie's with training was like amazing, like, and I have all of my things to show you how to run numbers
And to pick up our, you know, because the thing is that, the participation when people go out and vote, it's not here. I mean, and I know it's everywhere, but we have control over our own community. How do we get those people to the polls? I don't care how old you are, it's just the fact that you need to go out and vote and vote your opinion. And through the years, what I have found out was that we just got to registering 350 new citizens, and I went through the IGNC and representing them. I've been representing them for over 25 years, you know, so every 3 months we register the new voters. So I think, because from what I have heard, the people telling me, they don't, they need to be educated on the ballot first of all, because they don't know the first time. The young people también, even though they have everything there, they have to be not instructed but educated.
Yeah, know the
And-
issues, know the
And
candidates.
I was called from several high schools to go talk to the government classes, and I would take the ballot, and I would show it to them. Literally, they would have to see it. And I would give them a sample, and I said, let's go through it. I said, you know, there's a Republican Party and there's a Democratic Party. There's people that are independent. It's where you stand. We're not here, we're nonpartisan. But I would explain to them, you know, the different issues and stuff, and how they would go down the line. And if they would go down the line and mark 2 candidates, that canceled everything. The education of it is very important.
Okay, so
Let's
do you
update.
have locations in mind?
No,
You said
I was
IBC?
thinking IBC,
Okay.
and I want to go and talk to them personally.
Okay,
And dates, what are we looking at? You're gonna look
Well,
to see what's
I
available?
have thought we had talked about, when we're doing the calendar, that we had put it in September.
you had not finalized a
If you
date.
told us it was
Just
either
fall.
between
Okay,
August
but
and
we had talked about
Okay,
it, and
but-
I
but-
told
but-
you.
but-
November, how?
What date would
next,
you like?
next October, I mean, next
Next
November.
We don't have.
So let's pick a date, right now.
Well,
Let's look, if y'all wanna pick a date or a month, first of all, give me
whatever's
a
available.
date.
Let's give her some preferred dates, and that way she has that in mind when she talks to them, because if they're willing to host, they're
Yeah,
gonna tell us what's available too.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, and
they-
then also, so we have to vote in a lot of people will run in the primaries, which is in March.
the
right?
primaries are gonna be in
So it has to be.
in March in
I think.
2020. And you have to be
And that's
registered
already
1 month
month before.
before.
So we need to
So
get
that's
a
one
February,
month
but February's
before
prior.
prior.
So we gotta do it maybe November. Wow.
Well, before November,
no.
yeah.
So I
Right, like, no, I'm saying like this November.
Yes, this November.
But I
Yeah,
don't know,
Saturday
because in
or
March, we
Friday?
need to
On
vote.
Saturday or a
No,
weekday?
no, normally the good times are afternoons, Thursday
Afternoons.
afternoon,
So-
that's when you're gonna get people in.
Why don't you talk to IBC and for them to give you the dates available, and you choose a date, and you come and tell us what day.
Okay, I'll talk to them. I'll talk
So
to
if
them.
IBC is not available, what would be your second
I would say-
location?
Well,
I would say
I-
mile one.
That's
Mile
very
one.
We can do it there
If
or
it
at
makes
the
people-
library.
At the
They
library.
Give us the library, you know, I know we've done a lot of stuff there.
Library.
At the Laredo Public Library.
If you
Also,
market
no
this
more
well, you're gonna get, we should be able to get a good group.
Yes.
If you market it well.
Yeah,
And
that
the
would be
public
good.
library is
You never thought of doing something in at the library, but the one in South Laredo? The one on Zapata Highway? Can-
That would be good, like a Spanish version
I've
maybe,
been
like an
there.
English one and one,
Is
and
it
then a
big?
Is
Spanish.
it a big?
I haven't been.
I've never.
I
It's in
have.
front of Cigarroa, it's in
But is it
front of
big?
Cigarroa. It's just a little smaller than this one, but it
But
doesn't
it's
make
okay.
But that would be good for the
I
office.
like that located.
You know,
And I
and
do it twice?
I'm gonna put the bank and I'm gonna put the library, both the libraries.
both
A ver,
libraries.
pues.
you know, and I wanna share
Or
a
maybe I
story.
could be helpful on a Saturday, available.
We can help, we can do
Yeah,
weekdays,
all
Saturday,
day.
like,
We
because
can
it
do
just
all day.
depends.
If you
Oh,
know
because they're
about-
voting
Some are good during the
right?
day, some
Okay,
are good
The
afternoon.
libraries are
Very
voting
easy.
locations?
One person at a time.
Sorry.
please.
Oh, no, I was gonna say that the libraries, if we pick a location where it's a voting site, that would be good, that they know this is where I got trained and this is where I can come and vote. Because early voting, they can vote anywhere, right?
Yes.
Yeah, oh, so there we go. That
You
was-
know, and I do want to share a story. Minita Leal, I don't know if you all know her, Minita Leal, her mother's 100 years old.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh,
You know who I'm talking
Yes,
about.
I know
And
her.
Dice Minita, I remember when there was an election, dice, I drove to the north, and I didn't know there's the one over there at, on Del Mar. the fire station.
Yeah.
And you just drive up and they bring you the ballot to the car.
Yeah.
And that was so, I was not aware of that. And I even told my mother about it because she struggled.
Sí.
And so what a great opportunity that
Yeah.
now it has come to that they will even bring it to your vehicle.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? When we were little, it had to be on that day, and I mean, when I first voted.
And there are 2 weeks of early voting too, but I think that
But
the
we have
most
to
important,
educate them on that.
the most
Yes.
important thing here is that we do have a lot of people registered, is finding a way to get into the polls,
To get them energized.
energize them to, so that they wanna go, because I think they need information of where do you vote,
Okay,
a lot of people.
Just to keep us moving along, so IBC, you're gonna check with them.
I'm gonna check in the 2
Second
libraries.
thing, okay, the two
And
libraries.
let me see what they tell me, ladies, and then I'll
And
come back to our
if,
meeting.
and if possible, I like the idea that they suggested to do it during the week, which possibly a Thursday and a Saturday, and at 2 locations.
And if we can alternate times, because sometimes it's easier for parents to go when the kids are in school. It's, you know, I don't know how that will cut into some of us, but sometimes it's like, I don't have to take all my children, I can go and listen to this. I don't know, just a
There's
thought.
just a lot of ways to do this, a
think
lot
it's
of
gonna be
places we
something
can
good.
go.
I like
It's just
that.
up to us where we wanna go.
See, I think it's
Okay.
just get a date, what's available from the IBOC.
Okay.
I'll
And
find
you
out.
pick the date, whatever they have available, you
Yeah,
pick
and
it.
let me find out, okay?
And then you wanna deputize people, correct?
Right, and I think that's a good idea, we do it, nomás at the Commission for Women, so that we can have a picture taken and everybody can say, look, you know, the Commission for Women are doing a voter registration drive and they're gonna be here.
Okay,
And
so
vote
how
aware.
many people here are deputized already? Okay, how many people would like to get deputized? Okay, everyone else, okay,
Would
great.
they be able to come to one of our meetings?
Well, Amber has she's just mentioned she has one August the 8th.
August the 8th at, I think it's at 5 or 5:30. I can send you guys the email and the form that you need to fill out before. And I think we're gonna be at the elections office.
Okay,
Yeah, so
but
we can
remember,
bring someone here, no?
we can do it
Yes, you
here, the
can.
elections office
They'll come
requires
here.
us to come and look at a film, you know?
Yeah, they're gonna do like a training for a big group. So if you wanna be a part of that group, you can do it, or we can invite them to come.
So to get deputized, what are the steps?
Well, let me tell you something, I think they need to do theirs in their group, and then we've gotta do ours in our group. Gotta distinguish the groups so that we can,
It's
I,
like less than 30 minutes.
Well, could they come to
So they
one
could
of our
come to
meetings?
one of our.
yeah, we can do it here, we can get the elections office to
Yes,
come.
ma'am.
I'm sharing, we had a little bit of a difficult time when we were going in to be deputized. We had a difficult time getting in, being attended to. Hopefully that won't happen here. But you had to view a little video. Are they gonna ask you to view that little video?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Not hard,
It
it's not
doesn't
long.
take more than
And so
30 minutes.
the ideal would be that everybody watches the video at the same time so that he doesn't have to have you doing it one at a time.
Yeah, or what I can do is I can have them come to our next meeting and maybe start the video, the training at 5 before our meeting commences at 5:30, and I'll just email everybody the form and have
Sabes
it.
que déjame, I'll go to the elections office, because I know that generally, I think, well, the way they used to do it was different, but I don't know now, I don't know that if they can, and I can find out if they can bring us, like you say, the video here.
Yes, that would be good.
Porque así lo podemos hacer nosotros
Well, if
también.
Amber's already coordinating one, if you could get us that information,
Yeah,
that
I'll
would be
just
great.
send you the form and have it.
And I'll just check with Mr. Valdez or Ms. Ortiz, if
Are
we
you
can
saying that we
just check
do it
with
Sa-
him to
Saturday?
see if we
Yeah,
can do
do
it
here.
here at
Okay,
5
yeah, I'm
o'clock
sorry.
before the meeting starts.
They'll be separate, they're gonna, Lula's
see
is gonna
who
have
can-
her own,
Porque
and we're gonna
they're
have
We'll
our
have
own.
our own.
Yeah.
So we can ask people to sit
But
in.
Sylvia is the chair, and I think.
Yes, correct.
I mean, with all due respect and all, Sylvia is the chair, and I think that you already have the communications with the elections office, because you.
Yeah, no, I do, I know that they do that, but I have to go and contact them and if they're available and all that.
I'm
Should
sure
I
that's
check with them?
awesome. That's getting involved.
Okay,
So let me get the date.
And we're looking, if we're looking at our next meeting, that would be on the 12th, of August. Is that?
I don't
Yes.
know, dear.
I mean, that's
When
what
that
I'm
was
saying.
second, if that's the second Monday.
So if that's the date that we want to get deputized, I'll call
First-
out for
first day
them
of
to
school
see
for the
if they
kiddos.
bring somebody.
So if someone wants to go before,
but
it's August the 8th with Amber. If you want to wait until the 12th, you can do it if we coordinate it.
And Sylvia, how much in advance do they have to be deputized? 1 month in advance?
No, I'm just saying that
You have to
1
get
month in
registered
before
to-
is had to get registered.
So then we could even get deputized in September when, because here it is the first day of school. I don't know, it's hard for a lot of moms or grandparents to.
I need to call the elections, I need to talk to the elections.
It's the 12th of
We have a
August.
special meeting.
That's a good
I
point.
think it's like
The elections.
I think it'll be a rough day for the teachers, and we do have a lot of teachers here.
Right,
So
yeah.
the other one would be September?
September, still September, I have September 9th.
The 9th, okay,
And it'll probably be,
okay.
At 5, like you said.
it's not.
Yo diría que
Labor Day
ya
cuando-
5 o'clock.
Ah,
hubiera-
Labor Day is the 2nd.
Okay.
We're off. We're off.
So let me call
The
them,
9th is
I'll get
the
that arranged with Oscar for the September the 9th one
Annie's list?
at 5 o'clock here. And we get deputized. Then I'll
Grass.
have an
Okay, and
update.
then, okay, so continuing with that, so we're gonna do voter registration, and then you're gonna get some people that are in public office, some women, to
Yes,
come and
I'd
do
like to see if we
presentation.
can do that and get, some speakers. and
Yes,
stuff.
ma'am.
I'm trying to follow the rules.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I
Tremendously.
like very much the idea, I think that was the original idea, was to bring in local elected women leaders, because they set the example. But I very much like the idea that Amber has with
Well,
that
we can
group.
do- yeah.
See what we, and maybe
We
a
can
blending, maybe maybe a panel
We
that
can
has
start with the panel
the
and
leadership,
then
but then have
training.
your, what did you call it?
The women?
The Annie's list.
Annie's list, I mean,
Training.
I've heard about it, I've never worked.
It was amazing.
Well, if we could get some connection or some representation from them also, I think that would be a great,
Yeah, I'm in touch with their
Nice day.
executive director,
Yeah,
so.
I need to know, if you can let me know more about the group, I'm making sure I already had a little
No,
plan
it's a
to
state
present to you all.
organization.
Yeah, with the school.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna,
It's not partisan.
That would be great. Like a different. Yeah.
Yes, they're really, really good.
I'm so excited, so many good things for Laredo.
They have a whole website,
Just need to make them a reality.
Okay, Sylvia.
they're,
and they like
I'm sorry.
train you.
Perdón, go ahead.
They're actually-
Okay, so then you're gonna look at getting the speakers.
I'm going to take care of the September the 9th and then the bank and the libraries. Let me see what they tell me.
Yes.
And
So
then you
then that would be until the 9th that we get deputized, which means between and then we can't do any voter registration.
and then you're looking at elected officials. Does anybody have suggestions of who to approach?
What do you mean?
for the
Of
panel.
the women, the elected
For the
officials?
panel.
For the panel? Well, I have some suggestions. I mean, we can open it up to everybody.
I suggest Councilwoman Nelly Vierma, because she's the only female council person we have at this time.
Well, and what do you mean? Because she works for the city?
As a panelist.
No, because she's a
As a
woman.
panelist.
We're talking about having women
That
as
she ran for
candidates
that
that are
position.
elected
Oh,
officials.
what's the one that you told us about at the beginning of the year, that she's from Laredo, she wanted to be a judge?
Patricia Alvarez?
Yes, like having someone like
Patricia
her,
Alvarez.
isn't she from
Patricia's
here?
fabulous.
Patricia
Alvarez.
Huh?
She's not elected, no, she's a judge.
She's an elected
She said elected
I
official.
thought she was federal.
Oh, no, she's
Well,
an elected official.
But she has a great story, right?
What I wanted to do is have several women, whoever they were,
Uh-huh.
the women that have run for office in Laredo, and see how many there are. Bring a total to you guys and say, we've had all these women in Laredo that have run for office, okay? We only have 10 that have won and served. I mean, just a number. And we've had so many, around 15 or whatever, have run and it wasn't their time. But if we can have women that have run and won, they can say, this is how I got encouraged. This is my story. Because I used to have the Women in Power, the
Yes.
group,
We
remember?
used to have that every
And
every
so
other-
we had Lana Laura Cavazo Ramirez, I had my sister Judy that was here, also the commissioner for 16
Oh,
years.
that's right. She's
And
great.
Betty Flores, there's a lot of them that we have to
Betty Flores.
look into.
Yes.
People that have run and but just so that tell them, look, you don't always make it. And here I am, okay, and I know she's run, I have run before once and I didn't make it, but I don't want them to get discouraged because the fact is that it wasn't their time. I don't
But that's a
see-
good story
Yes.
also to say I ran and I didn't win, but I've done other things.
Well, yes, and they don't,
That
I don't,
is
I don't want
stop them
people to
continuing.
think that, you know, you're gonna run and you're gonna win right away. If not, just keep on going. I mean,
Yeah.
because
I know
Yeah,
the
we can-
procedure,
we
that you
can
need to do
design our
treasurer, you need
question
to pick
on
what.
what you-
yeah, and then that, and then all the
Yeah.
things that's involved in running for office,
Yeah,
you know, I mean,
educate
that was
them.
the plan that I was thinking
like that.
about, but you know, if you all come, we can.
Sounds good. But I think with how you said about the data, that'll be good, because when people see the numbers,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
like,
yeah, I mean, we can already know
Yeah.
that there is a lot less women in positions of power than there are men, you know, I mean, so encouraging more women, maybe they're afraid, maybe they don't know, maybe they feel I have a lot of questions, maybe I won't make it, como le voy a hacer?
Where do I start?
Where do I start? Those are all the questions that we need to bring out and tell them, you know, the people that come.
Educate them.
Okay, so you'll come up with the steps
Yes.
to be elected on
Yes.
what you need to do, okay?
Yes, I will.
And then you're going to also get some women elected
Yes.
officials that have
Definitely.
won and some that
Yes.
may not.
Right.
Excuse me, I have
Yes, ma'am.
another commitment. We're not voting on that.
No, we're
And
not.
you've already got it.
But
Yes.
we still have a quorum.
Yeah, we still. have
See, we
Yes, we
still
do.
have a quorum.
We do. Thank you very much. Okay, good night.
So, that's
So we're
what
done with
I'll
that?
do.
Okay.
Awesome, it sounds awesome. I'm all
Okay,
excited.
so
Let's
thank
come to
you.
something.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. The next meeting is
An
gonna be,
update, and then for September is hopefully the event.
our next meeting is what, August
Of the 12th.
12th?
August.
August the 12th.
Okay,
So,
okay, I'll have that information.
okay, so moving on, our next item is discussion with possible action regarding the Laredo Commission for Women 2020 Action Plan, including but not limited to. And again, they listed a lot of the events that we're doing right now. So this will be easy for us to already have a baseline for next year. But this is also an opportunity for anybody that has new ideas, an event that they'd like to see next year. Yes, ma'am?
I was gonna say the, next year, since it's an election year, we should do the voter awareness workshop like twice. One in before March, and then again, like in October before the election.
Before there's the primaries
So
and then
maybe
there's the
like
general.
in
So we
February
gotta do a lot of
and
homework.
October
A lot in
of
the
next year.
Okay, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
So one before March and the other one?
One in February and one in
October.
October,
Okay.
so we can know
October.
the
That's
candidates
a good
and.
idea.
That sounds really good.
So, I didn't give Ms. Ortiz, but I had sent it to you previously. I had emailed to you all the form that we use when we're doing our action plan. And, let me pull it up. You don't have to bring it in this form, but just for your ideas, you can put down what you would like to do, just get some research behind your idea if you want to present it to the organization. So that we can sit down, and I know we've talked about doing a workshop, which is what we've done in the past, and that way you can take some more time and go into more detail.
You want me to make some copies? I have it.
Oh, you have it there, great. Yes, could you please? So can you hold it up so they can see it? So it's basically a very simple form, and we did it by month. And then we would select a chairperson, and then whoever wanted to volunteer to be on that committee. So this is the plan that we would take to council, city council. At the same time, as you're looking to your events, if there's money that you're gonna need, then you come up with your budget. A guesstimate, it doesn't have to be exact to the penny. But, now that somebody will be doing this, she'll be prepared for next year's, and it'll be easier for her. I do know that Mr. Valdez did offer, if we need anything printed, that the city would be willing to print things for us. So we
You can
didn't
just email it to us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, doesn't have to go make copies.
Unless you want to pass it around like this and then you
Yeah,
just email it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, which one? The one that's not in.
But we're talking about an action plan that begins and ends when?
September.
Or
Our,
if anything that we.
so our year
If we really need money.
has originally,
Yes.
well, it starts in October, but we start with our action plan in August. so that we'll have it in September because the budget is done in October.
So we're looking-
effective.
So we're looking at an action plan that begins September 2019 and moves through August 2020? Is that what we're looking at?
They've started in October.
It starts in October, so.
Okay,
But of 19.
no, but what I'm saying, but our action plan,
Yes.
you say begins in September because of budgetary purposes.
Well, yes, we need to finalize it.
So they can approve it
The
before.
project should start October,
The reason I'm
November.
asking is because then, everything we're talking about right now is basically moving into that year, correct?
Whatever's not done in September.
Right. So for budgetary purposes, these items that these issues, the events that we're talking about right now are gonna feed into that action plan.
Yes.
For next year.
And the budgetary needs would, okay.
Some of them might overlap.
To make sure I
Yeah.
understood
So the
the
budget starts
timeline.
October 1st, is that what?
October, the
October.
year, the year begins October.
Approving the budget.
Budget year.
Yes.
We're preparing
So
it
then,
for effective.
Right, but, okay, so we may have like $5,000 or $6,000 right now that we can.
10,000.
10,000. We don't know if it's gonna carry
Is it
over.
gonna carry over?
We don't know, right?
No.
We could ask permission.
I guess
Sure.
that's why we need
I
that
think what
budget.
they said was
Yeah.
because it's city funds, right, that it could carry over?
I think it does carry over. We just need to authorize them. Since they gave it to us solely for Hall of Fame, we can go and ask, can we use this for so-and-so? And as long as they say yes, but they told me that they would.
And that's why we need to have a plan to
Yeah.
say, we need, let's say for this event, I'm just saying numbers, 2,000 for this,
Correct.
right?
Yeah, it
Yes.
would be okay, yeah.
Okay.
So we
I
should be
think,
good.
I think from the money that we had,
The 4,000?
there's 4,000 that's non-restricted funds. The 10,000 are supposed to be restricted for the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
So the
They should
non-restricted
give us.
is what we can actually use. And if we do a purchase order, then we've done it within the time frame before the year ends.
Yeah, that's true.
So I could do that.
A purchase order for what?
So then
For
we
any
can-
of
Okay.
If we do the PO ahead of time, ¿verdad? Así cae that fiscal year.
They've done that for us before, but I think they would prefer that we do it
Okay.
timely with the budget.
And then I was gonna, because it's not on here, what's the event that Elia had invited us to with the Mexican consulate?
Oh,
So we wanted to add it to the calendar for this coming year. Do you remember?
It was
The
a
bridge?
Women's Day with them.
yes, it was a Women's Day where we met at the bridge, because this year, it'll be here, probably in La Posada. It didn't cost us anything. We just showed up, they provided,
No, I just meant so we can put it on our action.
yes, I'll get the date for you.
I think it's, last year was in March, or this year was in March.
In March, right?
Yes.
Well, that's when
in
it's
March.
Women's Month.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
when
It
it's.
wasn't
Oh,
March.
yeah,
Women's Month.
That's when we have the Hall of Fame.
She is really good about.
But
That would be good.
Yeah.
That way we'll have it on our action plan.
So,
so we can
and
see.
March was in Best Hall of Fame.
The Hall of Fame, what month is it that they wanted? March also?
It's
Just wanna make sure
March.
to put it on there.
Definitely March.
Okay, are there any
Are
other
we gonna do it?
items?
Next year.
Next year.
Is there anything else? Any comments? Yes,
The
ma'am.
only comment that I would, I don't know if everybody was aware of one of the ladies that had been nominated for the Hall of Fame for this year, passed away.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes,
And,
ma'am.
So what is being, I missed them.
Okay, so I asked to put that, exactly what you're gonna ask. I asked to put it on the agenda for this month, and I was told that they would look into putting it for next month, because I asked some questions, and they were gonna talk to legal about them. So if you'll just bear with us.
I don't know if you and I are thinking the same thing, but what I was concerned about, I wanted to know if we had an answer to it. Because obviously, these women who had been nominated were aware that this was happening, and I know I had at least one phone call from one. So my question was going to be,
Yes.
are they going to be notified in some?
That was the question.
That's the question.
Yes, ma'am.
I
So-
think it needs to be done, Sandra. I think
Yeah,
some
I agree with
kind
you, but unfortunately, we can't discuss it,
Okay.
it's not here. I asked for it to be on the agenda, so God willing, in August, we'll have more information on what we can or we should be doing. I mean, I know what we should be doing,
Yeah.
but what we will be doing, we can have a little bit more concrete for you.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there something, because it's not on here, like for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, that maybe we should do something?
Oh, that's a
October?
good idea.
If we don't have something here, but maybe it could be something for next year. To always do something in October for breast cancer.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what, but just to have in mind, maybe October or something. Yeah.
Yes, I'm a cancer survivor. This will be 22 years for me. Yeah.
And just to get out that information.
Where the free.
Yeah.
And that was October.
But also, if I may, Maribel, and she was here, but she had an emergency call just right before coming in. And myself represent Dr. Mante Martinez. And we were at the board advisory meeting with him at the animal shelter. And, he talks to all his committees. And at that time, Maribel and myself spoke about the same issue, that if they have been sent, or if they were gonna be sending a letter to notify them as to what the update is. And because, I've had calls, he had calls as well.
Yeah.
And we're just very concerned, but, and I know that we had mentioned that to Mr. Martinez, Mercurio, that time that he came. But apparently nothing has taken place. But I think that it is a very important issue to let the ladies know that where we're at.
Yes, I agree with you, and we'll have more discussion for that in August.
So you're basically taking charge of getting an answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
And I'm getting a little confused, so.
Oh, but that's okay, because we already can't discuss it, because it's
No,
on
I'm
our
just
agenda.
asking,
Let her finish.
I'm just gonna ask a question,
Mhm.
if I may.
Of course.
I know we had the Hall of Fame ladies and everything that we had already approved or whatever happened. Well, my question is that, and I probably won't be able to answer me, that's not gonna happen this year, right? Or is it?
I can't answer that.
We don't.
I will have more information for you all in the next month.
Well,
Okay, okay, that's fine.
I requested we be able to discuss it, but I was asked to wait because they wanted to talk to legal on some issues. So we'll have more discussion on that in August, at our next meeting.
Then September, October? ¿Comienza el año nuevo?
November.
I didn't get all that stuff in there. No, I mean, I just want to say, I'll say it out loud, I think we're gonna have it.
No, we
Any
already
other,
voted.
are there any other items that anybody would like to discuss?
Sandra.
No,
We can.
We're
still discussing it.
We were asked
Not to mislead anyone, we had voted already, it had been voted, that it wasn't going to gonna happen until 2020. That they're doing something for those that were nominated and notifying them, that's fine. But as a group, it can't be decided by one or two, whatever, it's a group, and we already voted on it, and it was a
They have to
non-issue.
bring it back up.
But we didn't vote that it would not happen this year.
It was voted on, and it was, yeah, we did. I'd be more than glad to get you that.
Please.
I'd be more than
I'd
glad
like
to get
see
you all the records, all the
Don't we start
information.
the new
Once
year in
again,
October? The new
once
budget
again,
year starts
and
in
council
October.
made it very clear.
Personally, I
Once
don't
again.
think we're gonna have it, Sandra.
No, it was voted by
I was
council.
asked not
My
to discuss
opinion.
it at this meeting.
I can't discuss it.
We're waiting on
If
legal
y'all
to
want
give us a definite response, and so Mr. Valdez.
But what was the question, response to what? What was the
Well, that
question?
was a conversation that Ms. Taylor had with
Oh, well,
Mr.
let us know what
Valdez,
your
and so-
conversation was. We're supposed to be as a team, as an organization, we are supposed to be notified of what you're
What
doing.
is it that you asked Mr. Valdez?
I asked him if we could discuss that. And he
Discuss
asked
what? I'm
me to
sorry.
discuss the Hall of Fame and the notifying of the women. But if there's no other items to
We're not
be
done,
discussed.
Sandra, I'm sorry.
Notifying
We'd
the
like to
women
know
of
what you asked Mr. Valdez and on behalf of the Commission for Women, because it's confusing as to what it is that we're waiting for. To notify the women that they were nominated is one thing, but we would like
I think we have the
clarification.
right to know, Sandra, que es lo que le dijiste.
I agree.
No, all she wanted to know was what was the council's final decision on the 2019 Hall of Fame. That was all that was asked, and the decision was, we're gonna go back to legal and see how legal interpreted that meeting and what the final decision was.
It was very clear.
In
Whether
addition
we're
to
having it or
that,
not.
in
Okay.
addition to that, I
Okay.
asked Mr. Valdez that whatever the outcome was, the city needed to notify everybody that had applied, everybody that had put in an application, what was gonna happen. Because nobody has gotten back to anyone. And we are all receiving calls, I know.
That out of courtesy,
Yes,
that
ma'am.
we owed it to all those women that had been nominated to be informed of the council's final decision for the 2019 Hall of Fame.
Thank
So
you.
just so I would like to just clarify.
Yes,
that-
ma'am.
That people do not apply to the Hall of Fame. They are nominated.
Yes.
So
Yes,
there's
they
not,
were
there's not an
nominated.
application, it's a nomination.
Nomination.
And I thought that and I may be wrong, right, but I thought that at the council meeting, they had decided for us
They did,
that it was a no for 2019.
they did.
The council has voted.
And they put conditions, and we haven't done anything. And
Well-
they tabled it and they voted, I mean,
Yeah, no,
I'll get you the information, I'll get you all
All
the
right,
report.
well, thank you everybody for coming out, we appreciate it, and we'll have more information on that in
So we
August,
go to
okay?
adjourn?
There's no motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
Time
All in
is?
favor?
It's
6:46.
Yes.